Yo, what is up, all you primetime players, all you primetime fans, all you newcomers that's just coming on to the podcast? This is the Prime Time Dots podcast, and I am your host, Zachariah Scott. Appreciate y'all for checking out this podcast, man. So for today's podcast, as of finally the last month of January, and it's been a long January. So I'm recording this January 31st at 11:10 p.m. right after the New Orleans Pelicans and Boston Celtics game, where we saw an unfortunate outcome. Yes, it was a close game, but it was a definite winnable game. So my quick summary of that game was, I'm glad Trey Murphy had his 40 ball. Trey Murphy had his 40 ball. I was happy to see that. I think Trey Murphy has been making a lot of leaps and bounds, and I feel like he should be on the list for most improved player. I don't think he's gonna win it because Pelicans don't have much team success, but Trey Murphy as an individual, and most of the time when you look at most improved player, it either goes to the person with a lot of individual success in the past, but more recently it's been individual success and then team success with it too has been helping people's cases. But that's besides the point. Let me pull up the full box score. So, Trey Murphy had 40 points tonight against the defending, reigning NBA champions, Boston Celtics. A healthy Boston Celtics team, might add too. And he had 40 against them, going 15 for 20. So he only missed 5 shots. He went 8 for 12 from three-point line. And ESPN's not showing me if he had any free throws, but I'm more sure he probably got some free throws and some foul calls and stuff like that. Now, this was a game where CJ McCollum was struggling. CJ went 8 for 19. He only had 17 points. And Dejounte Murray only played 8 minutes. Unfortunately, Dejounte Murray now has a ruptured Achilles, and we probably won't see him until this time next year. We probably won't see him until after the All-Star break next year. So we're not seeing Dejounte Murray anytime soon. So we're never going to see the lineup of Brandon Ingram, Dejounte Murray, and Zion in the same lineup. Never going to see it, because Brandon Ingram's most likely gone. I'm going to get into that. We're going to get into that. This is going to be a quick summary of the game. So as far as the game, I appreciate everybody that's still going to Smoothie King Center, even during this the porches blocking and all the terrible parking. You can't really park in a garage on porches and stuff like that. But to the ones that still going to the game, you guys are the definite troopers. I don't know how y'all do it, because I was like, I'm not going to another game until me and my wife, we're not going to another game until after they open up the parking and stuff like that. But to the ones that are still going and dealing with that traffic and dealing with that headache of trying to find parking, and kudos to y'all, man. Y'all are tough. I couldn't deal with it, me personally. I was like, I'd rather just watch from my house and be comfortable and just chill, and like, I don't know how y'all do, but y'all witnessed a good game tonight. This was definitely a Trey Murphy game with that 40 piece. Jose Alvarado, he had 20 points. That's good to see. Brandon Boston went 5 for 11, 0 for 3 from 3. He had a nice little 10 points. It's just unfortunate that the the Pelicans just got the injury bug this year. It's no matter how you guys want to shake it. We also bring in bad coaching. This is bad direction, but it all started with just we got hit with the injury bug this year, and it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look right now. I honestly would have liked to see Jordan Hawkins get in the game. It says he did not play. He's not with the team right now. I don't know why he's not with the team, but apparently he's not with the team right now. So this would have been a good time to get some Jordan Hawkins minutes. Honestly, Jordan Hawkins minutes. But last thing about the game, appreciate you, Trey Murphy, for taking the lead, stepping up, trying to be that constant bucket, get into your off ball movement, your spot up shooting, man, driving to the rim, get into your shot creating bag, man. Like, you're making big leaps. It's great to see. Definitely a fan, and I can't wait. And I've put this in my own Discord, and shout out to my Discord. Link's gonna be right there down below. But I put it in my own Discord. I was like, man, if Trey Murphy is not a starter for next season, something is wrong. Trey Murphy is a starter, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that starting lineup too when I get into some of that. But the big title, the big reason why I'm making this podcast episode is I want to talk about the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans offseason. What are some of the biggest needs that the Pelicans need, that we need to see this team succeed? There you go. What are some potential targets? So, the Pelicans for sure. I kind of wrote down this outline, so if it sounds like I'm reading off something, it's because I wrote this out earlier. I wanted to make sure I get to it. So, the Pelicans for sure not making it in the playoffs. They're for sure not making it in the playoffs. Ain't no question about it. We're constantly getting hit with an injury bug. Our point guard, Dejounte Murray, just went down with Achilles. We're not gonna see Brandon Ingram in another jersey. It's gonna be real difficult unless they make a splash and somehow we get some nice veteran pieces, or we get some impact player or something. I don't see the Pelicans making it to the playoffs at all. Not even playing. So since the Pelicans not making the playoffs, it's time to tank. It's time to tank. It's 100% time to tank, and I'm saying we should take either for Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, or Brandon Harper. For a top 3 pick. We just need a top 3 pick because those are your first 3 that's going off the board. For sure, they're your first 3 going off the board. I have no doubt in my mind that's the first 3 going off the board, and those 3 will be perfect, great fits for the Pelicans, no matter what. You bring in Cooper Flag. You could move Coop. You can move Coop to the 4. Zion could be. You got a front court. You got a front court of Coop, Zion, and Misi. That's a great front court right there. You move Trey Murphy. You put him down. Put him at the 2. And then you got Murray whenever he comes back as your starter. That's your core right there. You got Herb coming off the bench. But Herb's going to get nice little minutes too. You got Cooper Flag, and I say these 3 right now because Cooper Flag, he's coming in right now at 19. I'm around 19.9 game points per game, but we can round that up to 28 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game. He's shooting 48% from the field. He's shooting 32% from 3. He has 1.2 blocks and 1.5 steals. He's also listed at 6'9". So ESPN has him listed at 6'9", 205 pounds, and he has to move around as a small forward, as a power forward, small forward type of role. So he can play out of either positions, and that's great because he could play right next to Zion too. He could spot up, he could create his own shot, and that's exactly what we need right next to Zion. A guy that can still shoot, still shoot off the dribble, still spot up, still create their own shots and stuff like that. We need more ball movement, and we need pieces to fit around Zion if Zion's going to be our clear number one. Or we need somebody to come in and be our clear number one, and I feel like Cooper Flag could be one of them. I feel like Ace Bailey could be one of them. I feel like Dylan Harper could be one of them. Speaking about Ace Bailey is coming in at Rutgers. He's averaging 20 points per game, 8 rebounds, not that many assists, but he's mostly supposed to be your scorer, your shooting guard, small forward, and that's why you have Dylan Harper anyway. But Ace Bailey, who's a 6'10 combo, well, I can't even say combo guard. He's a 16 wing, 6'10 wing player. He's coming in at 1.4 blocks per game, 1.1 steals per game. He's shooting 48% from the field, 41% from three. And like I said earlier, listed at 6'10", 200 pounds, in that the shooting guard small forward role, right? Dylan Harper. Now this is your combo guard. This is your 6'6" combo guard. Think of a Shea Gilgeous type of deal, right? He's coming in at 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. He's shooting 49% from the field, 33% from three, and he's listed as 6'6", like I said, combo guard, point guard, shooting guard. And all these guys could plug in. They could all shoot. They can all create their own shots. They all gonna play hard on defense because I've been seeing their games in college. They're all playing hard on defense. They're all playing their role, and I feel like that's gonna be great to see. Now, next year, even when you draft one of these guys, it still might be a throwaway year because we don't need a. Well, if you get Dylan Harper, he's gonna move into your point guard role. But if we don't get Harper, or Dylan Harper, Harper. If we don't get Harper, and we just have Harper and CJ as our backcourt, then we gotta go to like this. This is gonna be our throwaway year because you can't tell me CJ is gonna be our starting point guard, or Jose is gonna be our starting point guard. Jose has a lot of injuries, and CJ is not consistent as a point guard. He's best in his role right now as a shooting guard, just come in, be the shooting guard. Now CJ can get you a bucket and stuff like that, but constantly facilitating like how Dejounte Murray was and running the offense, we saw the difference. At least I definitely saw the difference, right? Let me go into some of the differences, and some of the things that the Pelicans also need to address. They need to address the weakness in the defense. There's like no defensive effort. Rotations are late. Guys, is like the defense is terrible sometimes, and it's like people are just constantly getting buckets against the Pelicans and shit. And this is supposed to be a Willie Green where you're supposed to put your hat on defense. You're supposed to be this defensive guy, and everything's supposed to be we're gonna run this on defense and defense. You're supposed to be this defensive guy, and you're not. And the Pelicans are what? Their defensive rating is 118.5. They're ranked 28 out of the 30 teams in the league. 28. You're ranked to the bottom, and your offense is even worse because your offense is only give you at least 110 points per game if you can get to 110, and you're ranked 26. So your defense is bad and your offense is bad. So you gotta do something. Why don't you hang your hat on defense like how OKC did? They realize when we don't have a lot of guys that are gonna constantly be shooting, we're not gonna be shooting like Boston shooting. We're not gonna be shooting like the Rockets were shooting back when Harden was in it, and we're not gonna be shooting like the Warriors and stuff like that. We're not gonna be shooting all these threes. That's not Shea's game. That's not Williams' game. That's definitely not Dort's game. That's not their game. So what they hang their hat on? Defense, because they can play hard defense, create the turnovers, get out on the break, and just constantly mess you up because they're hanging their hat on defense. Now, Boston's game is they're going to shoot a lot of threes, but they still going to play hard on defense. They still going to play hard on defense, even though they still taking up a lot of threes, and Boston could make those threes. And that's just something the Pelicans gotta switch over to. You have Willie Green has to get this locker room under control, and he has to get these guys he gotta get a decent roster. Willie Green, David Griffin has to create a roster that guys are gonna be hanging their hat on defense. Like, we gotta rotate, we gotta be in position, we gotta be able to create turnovers, because Look what OKC is doing by just hanging their hat on defense. Look what Boston is doing when they know their 3-point shot isn't going. They're hanging their hat on defense. You can say the same thing about the Cavs. You can say the same thing about the New York Knicks. Shoot, Miami Heat. They pride themselves on really playing the hardest working type of defense. Now, mind you, that roster and that team isn't playing the best defense right now. But when they are in those type of scrappy little fucking games, when it comes down to the Heat, they're still hanging their hat on defense. So that's one thing. You gotta fix your defense. Ball movement. Unfortunately, there's no Dejounte Murray. So there's no point guard. There's no playmaker. But even when Murray was on the court, I could tell that there was no type of ball movement. There was no type of plays, no type of ball movement. It was just like guys getting to Zion gets to the spot, or Brandon Ingram gets to the spot, or CJ gets to the spot, and then they gonna dance ISO and shit like that, and hopefully the shot goes in, or they kick out to somebody that's spotting up and stuff like that. It didn't look like much off ball movement. Especially for Jordan Hawks, and Hawks needs the off-ball movement just to get himself open and stuff, because he's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna be able to put the ball on the court and create and slash and stuff. So that would have been great to see. There's no real off-ball movement. There's no real off-ball movement. There's no fucking ball movement altogether. Like, the ball passes, there might be like one or two passes in half court, and then eventually a shot goes up, and it's just like, come on, guys. And then 3-point shooting. When it comes down to 3-point shooting, y'all just gotta take some shots. I know Zion's not gonna be taking a lot of 3-point shots. That's okay, but even Zion, if Zion at least makes one, takes about 2, maybe 3 a night, it opens up the court. You know, Trey Murphy's gonna be shooting a lot of threes. You know, CJ's gonna be shooting a lot of threes as long as we got CJ. Brandon Ingram, even when he was playing before he got hurt in early December, he was shooting a lot of threes. Dejounte Murray, when he got it going, he's shooting a lot of threes. Yeah, Jose Alvarado, when he got it going, he's shooting a lot. Guys have to take these threes, make these threes, because that's just how the game is right now. You gotta take the 3. That's how the numbers working right now. I hate to say it. Gotta take the 3. And it also causes less pain on the body, constantly going to the rim all the time. Look at Anthony Edwards. He's shooting a high clip. He's shooting a high clip of threes. He's making it. And he's still playing, man. He's an Iron Man. But that's as far as the Pelicans' weakness and some of the stuff that they have to address. Now let's get down to potential targets. So, potential targets out there, free agency, potential targets out there as far as draft or whatever else is coming through, right? So, for the potential targets, Pelicans got to build through the draft. You got to build through the draft. You got to build through trades. That's the only way. Nobody's coming to the Big Easy. Sorry to say it. Nobody's coming to the Big Easy. Nobody's coming to New Orleans. Unfortunately, the team got a bad rep. Stars constantly getting hurt. People want out. Nobody really wants to come here, right? So with that being said, Get some more picks. Get some more picks for Ingram. Get some more picks from CJ. See what you could do. Draft one of the top 3 players that I said earlier because they could fit well with Zion. So now your young core, your core for the team is gonna be Zion or Ace Harper or Flag, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and Misi. Shoot, right there you already got. You only missing one piece, and that's Dejounte Murray when he gets back healthy. But you can still go pick up another point guard in a draft because you got draft picks, or you can make a trade. What else I put? Alright. I know I've been rambling on and talking y'all ear off, but to conclude this, the Pelicans' future is very uncertain. And that's for sure. It is very uncertain. The Pelicans will have a lot of talent as far as when they build through a draft and when they get these trades. They're going to have a lot of talent. They're going to have a lot of potential. But as we've seen around this league, it takes time and it takes good coaching for the potential to develop into wins and playoff success. And that's what the Pelicans fans deserve. Wins in the regular season, turning into playoff success once we get there. With time and good coaching and also good health, now let me add in also good health, the Pelicans could be the next Boston Celtics because they took time. It took for that young core of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and the right group of vets around them to develop, and now they won a championship. Look at OKC, how they are. They're the number 1 seed right now. I think they were the number 1. They're the number 1, or I think they were the number 1 or going into number 2 last season. But that young core, they took time. Look at the Houston Rockets. Look at Orlando Magic. Once you get some good coaching and you let your players development, you let them develop. The Pelicans could easily be the next Boston, OKC, Rockets, or Magic. A whole bunch of young guys that you know there's going to be there in the playoffs and they're going to be hungry. Shoot, even the Cleveland Cavaliers, get some good coaching in there. Make the right trades. Let your guys develop the right way. But it depends. With bad coaching and bad directions from the coaching and the front office, you can see the Utah Jazz, Wizards, or the Charlotte Hornets, where you guys have all this potential, especially with the Hornets, but you never do anything with it. You could barely even get into the play-in. So, with the right moves for the draft and some trades, I honestly feel like we could see some playoff success. Oh, and also health. And also health and good luck. We could see some playoff success. That roster might be able to get past the first round. It just depends. Pelicans, yes, the Pelicans' future is very uncertain, but as long as we stay patient, as long as we stay patient with some of the players, not all the players, some of the players. I've lost my patience when it came down to David Griffin and Willie Green. I don't know what's going on with them, but as long as we stay patient when it comes down to Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and even Zion, and whatever new draft pick that we get, I feel like that core can change the Pelicans franchise around as long as there's good coaching. Now it could be from Willie Green, or it could be from somebody new. Hopefully it's from somebody new. And David Griffin in the right office. So, I don't know. Like I said, Pelicans' future, very uncertain. It's going to be very interesting. But as far as from right now, as far as the present, it's time to tank. It's time to tank for a top 3 pick. With that being said, thank y'all for watching this podcast episode. I appreciate y'all watching the last one. Definitely more coming soon. I hope y'all enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm probably gonna be dropping a Super Bowl preview and a Super Bowl episode real soon. Get into that, and I want to drop in maybe I'll drop in maybe, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of WWE, but I don't know. I don't want to mix up. I don't want to mix up my dish too much. I'm rambling and on, but I know for sure I want to drop in a Super Bowl preview and go over what's next for the New Orleans Saints. So, with that being said, peace. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also, go check out my links down below, man. My socials are right there. Twitter, Insta, TikTok. I'm not that much on Twitch anyway, so y'all go check out those socials. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.